Good afternoon. So I have so much excitement and energy about this message right now. I've had this message for a couple days. I prayed into it on a couple of walls. I have some Father's Love, peaceful music playing in the background. Yeah, it's exciting. So this message today is love, and I love love. And so I've always said to people, you know, like they've asked me, why you do that? And I said, I just love people. I love the idea of love. Like many of you, I've been through some hard situations, maybe some hard relationships, and it can be difficult to deal with. But I always just regain this idea of love and loving others and just coming through it. And so, you know, I always wait for for God to let me know when I get to share the message. And I was uptown today. Yes, I was uptown. I'm in a small town we call uptown when you go to town. And I ran into a beautiful woman I know, who I grew up with around here. And she and I were talking, and we were just talking about how love just makes everything so much easier and so much better, and how, you know, it's like a universal language. It doesn't matter what's going on. If you love somebody, even if you don't speak the same language, they can feel it and it radiates off you, and you do things from a different place. So it's beautiful. So that happened. Then I came home and I opened one of my books, and it just said, love your neighbor as yourself. And that was one of the things that I heard. And so I was just like, yeah, it's a love day. And I have pink on. And I just realized I had pink on when I sat down. So yeah, this message is about love. And I, you know, just recently in the last few months, I've had a person come into my life that I've known for a long time and who I care very much about. But because of that, I've actually had to learn love on a deeper level. And when it's somebody you know and you care about and you've known for a long time, it really exposes some things in your heart. And so, you know, trying to work through things and stuff is different because you do have a different feeling of care. And I said to God, how do I get through this? Like, what is going on? And I just heard him say, you know, purify your heart. And I was like, how do you purify your heart? And he said, receive my love. Now, I know that a lot of times people think that love is just a feeling, you know, oh, I love you, you know, and it's true, that's part of it, but there's such a deeper meaning about love. And when you get that revelation about how much you're loved, you will be able to function through life in a way different way. And you will feel different, and you will absorb relationships and even your enemies way different. You will be able to love even your enemies in a way that you never did before, because you will have a love that you never did before. So I always love this one. God has taken me back to this one so many times because he really wants me to know the idea of love and what love actually means. Because we just really have a distorted idea, like, oh, he doesn't love me anymore, or, oh, I don't love that, you know, and we always let it be something we feel, but it's a deeper thing. 1 Corinthians 13:4-8 says this: love is patient. Now that may be a thing for some of you. I feel like I've always said to people, I feel like God has been teaching me patience for 2 decades. And probably longer, because it's one of those things, patience. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. But love will always remain. They says there's joy, peace, and love, but love is the greatest of these. You guys, I need you to get this revelation today about love and how important it is. Sometimes when we get into new relationships or situations with people, we love them so deeply. We're so interested, but then they don't love us back, or we get in for the wrong reason. We don't understand why. We aren't all raised the same. Some of us are loved in a way that's different than others, and so we can express love different. And some were not raised like that. But if you really want to love somebody, you don't repay evil in love. You don't delight in the evil. And you're not self-seeking. So to love somebody doesn't mean I'm going to go love you and expect you to love me the way I love you. It's not about what you're getting, it's what you're giving. You have to learn to get your love from God. That's the purest, unfailing love there is. If you are looking to another person to get love, it won't happen. If you're being attacked in a grocery store and you don't have God's love, you will take offense and fight back. This works with everything even happening right now in our world. This is a good revelation to get. Love is a big deal. It's such a big deal. So I don't know about you, but I like to condemn myself sometimes, and that is not love or God. I do something wrong and I think, oh, I fell short. Oh man, God's gonna be so mad at me. He probably doesn't love me now. Maybe you've done that a lot of times too. He reminded me the other day that love covers a multitude of sins. A multitude. Love is a power, a strong power that we need to understand more deeply. You want a revival? A revival needs to be out of the love of Christ, not just leading people to Christ and letting them be on their own way and throwing them in a church and saying, oh, well, you're saved. Love is the answer. It just is. And it's not easy. I'll tell you, when your husband, probably leaves the toilet seat up or pees on the seat or whatever, I'm sure it's hard to love. When your wife is nagging at you all the time and you're just like, man, I work all day, I'm exhausted. Why is she nagging? It could be hard to love. But if you learn what the true meaning of love is, nothing should be able to affect it, because your love goes to God first and your wife or husband second, or that person second. Be filled up with the love of God so that you don't have an empty well. This one is important to me, this scripture. I was telling you that when I feel like I've done something wrong, I feel like I don't have the love of God with me. And that is a lie, lie, lie. Romans 8:35-39 says, who will separate us from the love of Christ? Will hardship or distress or persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword? This is an important scripture right now to hear, because some of these things are upon us. As it is written, for your sake, are you being killed all day long? Are we accounted as sheep to be slaughtered? No. In all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us.